If you have a dark blue dot, stand up. Go ahead and walk to station 2. It's where Miss Walker.
What's our next dot? If you have are we on green dot, stand up. Get your pencils and your papers and make your way to station 3.
When I found out that I was going to be co-placed, I was a little nervous because I'm kind of just like to get it done. But it's opened up so many opportunities for us.
Through collaborating, we were able to learn a lot of good time management, how to schedule together, how to make sure I guess the big one is the right amount of time to what we need to accomplish.
And also to come into collaboration with an open mind.
Yeah.
If you don't, then I wouldn't have been able to learn from him and he wouldn't have been able to learn from me.
Yeah, we got to be able to fully listen to each other's ideas. We can't just sit there and say, I want to do it this way. We have to sit there and listen to why we want to do it a particular way.
I definitely think I'm more of an out-of-the-box thinker. And if it wasn't for Mike being able to, understand what I'm doing and make it happen, it just wouldn't get done. I just still have these wild ideas that weren't going to happen.
Over here we have our first station is computers. What can we learn about is different. Danielle's really good with a lot of active, hands-on type things, and that's what I've taken a lot from her, and it's helped me in my technology aspect. And two of us were able to take both of our ideas from tech and hands-on and incorporate it together into one lesson.
Yeah, like technology and active engagement. And it really engages all of our students now.
It really helps teachers to be able to have another person to work with, because there's really so much with all of the testing that's going on, and kids, I feel like our diagnosis capabilities are getting better, so we are able to pick out these kids who really need help, and not just the kids in special ed, but the kids in general education, who we're able to really individualize the education. And when you have more teachers in the room, you're really able to give them that individual one-on-one time. You're able to tailor your instruction a little bit better to them, whereas when there's just one teacher and 20 kids, she can only do so much. It makes it really difficult.
It takes a good relationship when you're co-teaching, and building a relationship takes time. So starting out, you have to understand the barriers to a good relationship. You have to understand what each person's comfortable with. You have to understand who's going to cover what role and what duties in the classroom, and that kind of takes time to kind of work out together. You need to talk about that up front, and definitely requires a lot of communication.
Collaboration is a triangle, and at the very top is co-teaching at its highest, and at the bottom is communication. And without communication, effective communication, collaboration isn't going to work. If you have a feeling, if you don't think something's right and you don't feel that you can properly voice yourself, there's going to be boundaries in the classroom.
You have to plan from outside of the classroom. You can't just walk in and expect it to be a structured, co-taught classroom unless you have a little bit of planning outside. And like I said, every day we try to plan, even if it's for 5 minutes before school or 10 minutes during our lunch. We definitely make sure that this is what we're going to do for the whole 90 minutes, and if we run out of time, we're going to have this done as well.
We've become so reliant on each other, and it's great because our lesson plans are that much more stellar together than they would be alone.
Yes.
And then we could do parallel teaching for this first one,
The
drawing
job partners.
We plan together all the time.
Yeah. Weekends are spent planning for each lesson that we teach. We've taken over math full time, so every math lesson that we plan, we get together and we sit down and we try and type out the best way that we think we can teach this lesson.
It's so much easier when you have somebody to bounce ideas off of and work through things together with. Or like somebody that's in the classroom with you that sees everything that you do, and so you can talk to them and say, like, what do you think about this? Do you have any ideas of what we could do?
Sometimes just having a second person explain it a different way is all that the students need. And we've had the students, they seem to click faster when we're both taking turns and teaching it different ways. And the kids, they just seem to do well with that.
I think that the reflections is another huge part of what I've taken out of this. Like, just looking at my lessons and not being critical, but realizing, like, this could have been better, like, I should do this next time, just reflecting upon it as much as I can. And I think that has made me a much better teacher over this semester.
The biggest one they get is a split in the ratio. I mean, as opposed to where you're having in any other type of classroom that isn't being co-taught, you might have a 1 to 16, 1 to 18 ratio. Our students, and if you don't include our CT in the room at the time, and it's just the two of us teaching, we have 16 students in the classroom. Now, if the two of us teach at the same time, we have a 1 to 8 ratio, just based off the two of us. I think it's the biggest one they get is a lot more. It's a lot more not individualized, but smaller group learning.
And you can there's different type of co-teaching strategies, so parallel, station teaching, one teach, one assist, things like that, team teaching. So many different strategies we can use, styles we can use to what's going to work best for our students on this lesson.
The person that I'm co-placed with will tell you all the time, Brad, you think completely different than I do. I would never even think in a million years to come up with something that you just came up with. So I think having that my learning styles and the way that I think about it really helped the students. And also being able to have two people in the classroom and go and see, all right, I know the student's struggling, they really haven't bought into the class, what can I go to do to strengthen my relationship with that student, to show them the importance of the class?
They are feeling more successful as students, and that's huge. Having success is ideal for a student. Without success, there's failure, and they're not always going to have the confidence to try. So that's the biggest thing. The students are succeeding.
You can watch their confidence building, and they just are, happy with themselves, and that could be another aha moment, is just seeing them excited about learning and excited about doing well, and not feeling stigmatized because they have a disability.
When you're collaborating with, say, a general educator as a special educator, it's really beneficial for the kids because you bring different things to the table. She really knows the content knowledge, whereas I can say, well, I have this idea, how about we try this out? And just different strategies to help the kids, and it helps all the kids, whether they're in special ed or general ed.
Do you think your students know there's a special education teacher and a general education teacher?
I don't think they have any idea.
Me either. They think that we're on equal playing level, that we're the same.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no difference.
Yeah, they don't, because I'm the special educator, they don't view me any differently at all. And I'm not the one that's always pulling kids aside and working with them. We do that equally, just as we see it going on in the classroom.
I feel so privileged to be able to see this and be able to use it every day, because the elementary school that I went to didn't use it at all. Those students were pulled out of the classroom and taught in their own classroom, and you just didn't see co-teaching at all. And I just think that, gosh, after this semester, that it's wonderful, and why haven't we used it?
Well, I'm a cheerleader for co-teaching, I think, and I embrace it, and I think it's something that every school system should be doing. And I guess when I was going through the program, we learned about it, but in some respects it was hard for me to visualize it actually being successful, and it is. And I can't imagine teaching any other way, and I guess that's how it's defined me as a professional, because I wouldn't want to teach any other way. Just because it benefits students, and that's who we're ultimately responsible to.
For me, I feel like that I'm a classroom teacher. I don't feel that I'm a special ed teacher. I feel like I'm an integral part of the classroom, that the class wouldn't be what it is if I weren't there. Whereas I think if I had the more traditional role of sitting in the back, taking notes, running the copier, the class wouldn't recognize my absence.
It really has made me understand that, I'm not alone. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. I don't have to be by myself teaching. I can use other educators. And just, it's more fun. Just co-teaching is more fun.
Up until this year, I've really preferred being solo, doing things on my own, but I think working with Danielle, I've really learned how well working with other people and through co-teaching and other methods is really beneficial to teaching, even the future and even now.
I think it's the future of education, and I'm glad I got to be a part of that so soon.
Why do you think it's the future?
Because look how much our students have benefited from it. We're student teachers.
I mean, our students enjoy it. They have
Imagine if we
fun.
had 10 years of this.